I'm going to be canceling a lot of credit cards in 2026 because a lot of credit cards just aren't worth it anymore. Now, most people are about to lose money with their credit cards in 2026 and they don't even realize it. Annual fees are higher, credits are harder to use, and rewards have become more complicated. And most people are still playing the credit card game like it's 2019. So in this video, I'm going to be walking you through my exact credit card strategy for 2026, what I'm keeping and what I'm canceling and what I'm changing. This is based on real math, real spending, and real life, not luxury travel fantasy land, not influencer redemptions, not first class booked at 3 a.m. on flexible dates type of stuff. This is for normal people with families, fixed schedules, and real expenses. And if you watch this entire video, you'll understand why fewer cards can actually make you more money. So first, let's talk about the problem heading into 2026. Credit card companies had figured something out. They realized that most people don't use all the credits, forget benefits, and overestimate point values, and they keep cards out of habit. So issuers raised annual fees and added theoretical value instead of a usable value. That means the old strategy of just keep the card, it's probably worth it, no longer works. So in 2026, if you're not intentional, you're subsidizing the bank. So before I name a single card, here's the framework everything runs through. These are the 4 rules of my 2026 credit card strategy. Rule number 1, if a card doesn't pay for itself, it's gone. That immediately wipes out a lot of credit cards. Rule number 2, credits only count if I already use them. If I remember to use it, it doesn't count. Rule number 3, cashback beats points unless points clearly win. There's no mental gymnastics allowed in 2026. Rule number 4, complexity kills value. If a setup requires constant optimization, it will fail long term. These 4 rules alone eliminate most cards people swear by. Now let's get into the actual lineup. There is one card that survives every single purge. The card I'm never canceling is going to be the American Express Gold card. I have the personal and I have 2 business golds also. That's how valuable they truly are. American Express, you gotta do something better about this American Express Gold card on the personal side. Compared to the other cards, like it just looks dull. The color's not exactly what we all expected. Let's keep it 100 here. So let's talk about why I'm keeping it. It earns rewards where real life happens. Groceries, restaurants, food spending, not luxury travel, not aspirational redemptions, food. This year alone, most of the points earned on these cards came from spending I was already doing anyways. No strategy required, no category tracking, no reminders, just constant value. So let's talk about value honestly. Even if you ignore travel redemptions entirely and the value points conservatively, this card still generates hundreds of dollars in value annually. Then you layer in credits I actually use, food orders, transportation, everyday spending, and once you subtract the annual fee, the card still ends the year in profit. That's why this card stays. It doesn't ask me to change my behavior, it just rewards behavior I already have. Now let's talk about the most controversial credit card that everyone is questioning in 2026, the American Express Platinum card. It's really cool because it's all shiny and stuff still, but with the annual fee approaching $900, this card is no longer automatic in my personal opinion. So let's talk about my honest situation. I'm not traveling constantly anymore. I'm not chasing luxury redemptions. My trips are fewer and schedules are tighter. So the question becomes simple. Does this card still justify its cost? When I break it down, points earned, actual redemptions, credits I truly use, the margin is thinner than ever. But here's the key takeaway. This card survives only because of scale. If you're not earning a large volume of points, if you're not redeeming efficiently, if you're not already using the credits naturally, this card does not work. So for me, it barely clears the profit line, which means the card is officially on notice and on probation. So in 2026, probation is 1 bad year away from cancellation. But here's the big but. We never cancel, we downgrade because we don't want to lose the history with that specific credit card. We want them to actually switch out the product to something else that's not going to cost us anything and it's not going to damage our credit profiles. Nobody ever talks about that part. They just talk about canceling it like it's not a big deal. It is. Now let's talk about the quiet problem in most people's wallets. Cards I'm seriously considering cutting. Redundancy. Hotel cards are the biggest offender. On paper, they look great, but in practice, annual fees creep up, credits go unused, and status overlaps. If a card's value depends on maybe I'll stay there someday, it's already losing. The same goes for cards I don't actively swipe anymore. If a card exists only to justify its own annual fee, it's not working. 2026 is not the year to keep cards out of nostalgia. It's the year to cut aggressively. I want to give a special shout out to all my beasters out there that are working hard to fix their credit using DisputeBeast, the most advanced AI credit repair software ever created that comes with a 110% money back guarantee. But specifically to Brandon. Brandon's credit score went up 185 points after just one round with DisputeBeast. And Ashley's credit score went up 218 points after just 2 rounds with DisputeBeast. But let's not forget about Julio. Julio's credit score went up 266 points after just 1 round with DisputeBeast. DisputeBeast's link is going to be pinned at the very top of the comments and in the video description for anyone that needs to fix their credit. Now let's talk about the rotating category cards. Of course they sound great, they look great, they fail quietly though, because most people forget to activate, don't max the categories, split spend inefficiently. So my move in 2026 is simple. 1 rotating category card, not 2, not 3, 1. 1 card I actually use well beats 3 I use poorly. Simplification increases real returns. Now there is 1 card I'm keeping specifically because it requires 0 effort. That's my Costco, what I call gas card. There's no annual fee and it earns rewards on gas. It has a cap, but it's predictable and it runs automatically. And when rewards have upside potential without behavior change, that's asymmetric value. No thinking, no optimization, just consistency. Last part's the most important. Now you need to pay attention to this part. The most important trend in credit cards is forced spending rewards. Rent, mortgage, bills you must pay anyway. If you can earn rewards on money that's leaving your account regardless, that's free value. That's tens of thousands of points per year without lifestyle inflation. That's the future. And in 2026, that's where the smartest setups are heading. So here's my 2026 strategy in 1 sentence. Fewer cards, cleaner setup, real profit, and no fantasy math. Now I want to hear from you. Which cards are you canceling in 2026 and why? And make sure to drop it in the comments because I want to know. Now, if you have any collections, charge-offs, or negative items that you need to delete from your credit reports, make sure to watch this video right here because it's going to show you how AI will do all the work for you, mail your letters, and it comes with the 110% money back guarantee. And if you felt that I brought you some value in this video, make sure that you don't forget and subscribe to increase your credit score.